this week is gonna be just epic. I've got an awesome movie lined up for you to watch. So this is Arcus, and this is my movie pick this week, also known as Movies to Watch. So the movie this week is called Fight Club. It premiered in 1999, so it got a couple of years on its back, but it's a really iconic movie. It's such a classic, and you definitely have to see it if you haven't already. And if you have seen it, just rewatch it again. Why not? So it stars Edward Norton, and he's the narrator in the entire movie. And then it also stars Brad Pitt, which plays Tyler Durden, and it also stars a bunch of other really cool actors that you haven't seen before, and they play a really, I mean, this is sort of the starting up careers, because before this movie, Brad Pitt wasn't known for that much movies, but after this one, he was definitely known. So the entire plot in this movie, it's about an office worker. You know, he does his everyday job, goes to the office, and quite simply, he lives a very boring life, and he really hates it. So one day he goes out to a bar, and he stumbles upon Brad Pitt's character, and they somehow get talking, and they come up with this idea like, why not? We fight each other. You know, it feels good. So they sort of start up this sort of fight club, if they call it, that they hang out at their local bar, and they do it after hours, and they just keep fighting each other. And that sort of, I mean, I guess you could say that's the overview of the entire film, but there's so much more hidden message in between the lines and what this club actually means for them. Because all of a sudden, this office worker, he starts feeling better about himself, and you know, it's a bit, he gets control, and he gets, you know, he feels braver, and yeah, his life just becomes more interesting. Because before he found this, he tried to go to all different sort of like meetings. You know, they have cancer meetings for cancer patients and so forth, with all different illnesses, and he just went to these support groups trying to, you know, talk it out with strangers and trying to make himself feel good. But then all of a sudden he starts seeing another woman who starts doing exactly the same thing as he does, and they keep showing up at the same place, and they're both imposters because they don't actually have the illnesses. So they decide, hell, why not, we'll just divide up the different categories in the week. So that's sort of how they meet as well, and she also returns later in the movie. I'm not gonna spoil too much because, you know, it's a movie you're probably gonna want to see if you haven't already. Otherwise, just rewatch it because it's such an amazing movie. I mean, I can't give it credit enough for how good of a movie this actually is. So it is classed as a drama, and let me just tell you, there's a lot of violence in it, so be aware of that. If you don't like that, then you probably shouldn't watch it, but otherwise, it's really good. So, as I said before, it stars Edward Norton and Brad Pitt, and these are the two main characters that you see throughout the entire movie. There are some other smaller parts in it, but these are the two main focus characters. And when I went into it, I actually thought that Brad Pitt was the first person you get to meet, but that's not the case. So you actually get to meet the office worker first, and then later on he comes in. So on IMDb, it scored an 8.8 out of the users. So that just shows of how good of a movie it actually is. And in my own personal opinion, I mean, I'll give it my rating as well. I will definitely give it a 9 out of 10. It's a really, really good movie. You definitely should go watch it. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. As always, got any thoughts, questions, or anything you want me to review next, just comment down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye.